Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Lionel. I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering Love and Marriage Detroit. This is season 2, episode 2. I do appreciate everyone for coming to my channel in support. Please support me in liking this video for free 99, and also you can subscribe to my channel and leave your comments below. Let's get into this episode. I think I have everything in my memory bank because I didn't write anything down. From this episode, we begin where we started, where we left off in the last episode, where the Dobines, I think they show up. And we know that there is instant tension between the Dobines and Christina. And it's mostly between Kim and Christina. Kim goes into what happened. And we find out there was this analogy that she felt very offended by. At the time, some of Christina's friends were saying things concerning Kim that she did not like. She has an Android phone. And I guess someone else there had an Android phone too. And she was like, oh, I guess you two got things in common. And you like things that are mediocre. So the friend shaded Kim. She wanted Christina to step in. Christina felt like, what was I supposed to do? This is my birthday party. Kim was like, well, obviously you did care because you went around the whole, after the birthday party, you were asking what was said, You're not a great friend. You couldn't even check on me. I got dissed at your own birthday party. I said, oh. So this is what's up. I do feel like Kim was shaded by her friend. By Christina's friend. Does it seem petty? Yeah. Do you want backup from your friends? Yeah. But the problem is really between that friend and you. Are you going to see that other friend anytime soon? That's the big question, because if you're not even going to see this person anymore, let that go. Let that go. Having this being brought up 6 or 7 years later, that's a lot. She said that she forgave, but then old feelings come festering up. Kim, I'm gonna say this. You don't forgive somebody and you still holding on to this. You don't forgive someone and go on 6 years without speaking. And the first thing that pops in your head and you ready to rat-tat-tat-tat on her, if you really forgave her. I think that's something you gotta search inside of yourself as to why that was easily triggered at just the eyesight of her. Now, I also know, and I take into consideration, this is a reality show. And we're here to be entertained. And I know it had to be brought up. Kim says that Christina's a lot and I'm a lot. So, Christina was ready to explain herself, and then Kim was like, don't put your finger up. Well, Christina was like, well, you were doing this while I was sitting here patiently waiting for you to get done. So I'm going to do whatever, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I was entertained. The argument is petty. I still respect that Kim was offended by one of Christina's guests. I just don't think that after 6 years, I ain't even seen that person no more, that I'm going to be offended. However, we saw Kobe's face when Kim said, you don't know how to be a friend to people. And that's where we come into this whole, you get some receipts. So also how they feel, or at least how Christina and Brandon are feeling like, okay, so the Thompsons, these are your friends. Why did you bring these people around? Obviously, you brought them around to be messy. And LaToya said, I don't know nothing about what's going on between you two. You may not know anything, but you knew that these two had a problem with me, so why are they here? Look, I get how the optics looked, and I'm not so much defending the Thompsons at the moment. However, I think the show needs this dynamic to kind of put a little extra spark. As long as it doesn't go toxic, let these jokers do what they need to do. Because I don't think that this crowd here is just going to do something really overboard. They church folk. I mean, that don't really mean nothing, but I think that they care about their appearance for the most part, you know? So let them do what they do. I mean, I enjoy them so far. We got one scene, and I think we need a whole lot more from them. I hate that they were really missing from episode 2, but we did get a little scene with Marcel. But anyways, yeah. Again, I'm not invalidating how Kim felt 6 years ago. However, at this time, I think you should be over it. And just the sight of someone should not spark all these type of emotions if you said that you really forgave someone. Sorry. Russell came, and he was seeing what was going on, and he was kind of blown away about that. So we're moving on to the next scene. This is with Russell and Brandon. Russell has had the gym open for about a year or so, and he's ready for a re-grand opening. Brandon does open up to Russell that him and Christina are in a divorce. And I don't mean to laugh. I didn't even mean to laugh then. But it was just like hearing Brandon say that, which he didn't know who to trust and all that good stuff. I was listening to the interview he did with Mr. Dustin Ross on Carlos King's channel. Shout out to Mr. Dustin Ross. He said, he didn't know who to trust at this moment within the circle because we haven't really been talking to each other. So the first person within the circle was Russell. I was shocked who he told later on. But okay. Russell, after Brandon just explained himself about what's going on in the marriage, Russell began to cry. And I understand Russell. I wonder if he's a Cancer. I wonder if he is. Because he could be emotional. This big man has such a big heart. And he doesn't like to see couples go through something of this type of hardship. And I respect that out of Russell. That takes a lot. I know some people online were like, Russell, don't be crying over him. He don't want his marriage. No, I don't think, to be honest, I don't think that Brandon and Christina knew what they were doing when they were getting married. They've been sticking it out. He said within the interview when he was watching preaching television, and somehow he got to the part where he was skipping to get to the message from the preacher, and they said, don't leave your wife, don't leave that marriage. That was a clear-cut message to him, like, no, don't do it. I do think that we're in a new day where God hates divorce. Yes, he does. God doesn't take marriage lightly, and neither should any of us. Staying in it to just stay in it because of what you did, as far as, I know that a lot of people have felt locked in a marriage. And I'm bringing it out on two sides here. Some people have felt like, ooh, I gotta stay in it because, I did make a vow to God. And we're also taught that divorce is a sin. Not negating any of that, changing any of that. I think that some people stuck it out when they should have let it go. And just asked God for forgiveness. And I'm going the Christian route, so just bear with me on that. I don't know about Christina and Brandon, but he got clear direction and sign to stay with this marriage. He did say that he's, in the interview, that he's less selfish and he wasn't thinking of him. He's learning how to not think so much on himself and really consider other people's feelings. All I could do is just wish the best for both Brandon and Christina. I'm not going to say leave them or whatever. I just say that if you're not happy, Christina, if he can't show any improvement, if he can't show that he values you for real and your family, then it's time to exit for real. And I'm not saying this to just be on Christina's side. Brandon, if it's just not, if you don't know how to change, if you said God told you to stay, it's in your hands. A lot of the weight is on your hands. He spoke to you as a leader. Yeah, you did say that Christina needed to do her part too. Yeah, but he told you as a leader, don't leave this marriage. Don't leave this marriage. You better stay with that woman. There's a lot that you got to do to get your marriage. You're the one that said that you wanted to go, and now you're thinking, oh, you can come right back because God spoke to you. It's not going to work out for you that well, especially at how honest you like to be towards your wife, as we saw in the first episode. So, as I said, do what you need to do to try to fight for your marriage. If it's over, it's over. And ask God for forgiveness. That's all I got to say. All right, so we move on to Christina. Christina goes to her friend Chelsea, and she is getting artist preparation, I think it was. Basically, she's ready to sing, get back into singing. So she's doing everything. She's preparing her voice, vocal lessons, stage presence, and all that good stuff. We learned that Brandon did not want his wife to be a performer. Brandon, come here, because I'm in confusion. You're training artists all over Detroit, and you don't want your wife? How can you be this big trainer for people, but you don't want your wife to do this? No, my wife can't be this. Why not? Because see that, to me, it sounds very barbaric and misogynistic. Like, I need you in the house. I need you to take care of the home, take care of the children. That's what it sounds like to me. And you know that Christina can do all of her influencer stuff. A lot of it can be from home, where she don't have to leave that much. I can't believe that you would stifle your wife in that way, especially as you are building other artists. It may be one thing if you know nothing about the industry, but you mean to tell me you made her put down her passions and dreams, and you're running towards your passion and dreams with Star Factory and helping other artists fulfill their dreams? That's a lot of audacity. How are you building other people's dreams and then your wife, she can't do that? Your priorities are messed up. I'm still rooting for Brandon, but it's like, dude, that don't make any sense. I think she talked with Chelsea about the whole Kim and Marcel being there. I think she did. But anyway, it's like, Brandon, no, you can't do that. And I'm hoping I get to hear Christina sing. And Brandon, I hope I get to hear you sometime this season sing. But get it together, sir. You've been stifling this lady all because of whatever. You were impulsive. You like this lady. And you did something. You really jumped without a parachute. Lord. Okay, so what was the next thing? Anthony. Anthony's having his Man Movement meeting. He's including Marcel on this because he is a motivational speaker. He introduces himself and just says what he has to offer to try to help the young men out there. Anthony invited Brandon to come. It's supposed to be Brandon came after the event or the meeting, and already Brandon was like, "So you're doing a Man Movement thing and you didn't invite me to it?" And Anthony said, "Well, the last time we really did anything, you were making jokes about it, so it doesn't seem like you're really serious." So they hash it out about how they felt about their friendship and what was going on last season. Anthony wasn't feeling certain, didn't really want to cop up with things, and Brandon was like, "Look, for us to even move on in any type of relationship or friendship, you're gonna have to own something." They came to some type of middle ground. Anthony started owning certain things. And he thinks that is a starting place for them as far as what Brandon thinks. You know, Brandon ended up opening up about him getting a divorce from Christina. Immediately, there was sympathy for him from Anthony. Anthony's in the confessional said, "That was just reminding me how me and Dr. Thompson was when I was in Atlanta, when we were very close to divorce." Brandon does ask him, "Do not tell LaToya, since LaToya knows Kim. We're not ready to open that up as this being weaponized and all that." That's why I was really shocked that Brandon told Anthony. I was like, Anyways, it looks like to me that the producers was like, "I think you need to tell the men right now what's going on." I think that's what it was. I don't think I would be forced. If I knew someone I couldn't trust, for real, I'm not telling you. I'm sorry. That's just my personal thoughts. I don't know what actually went on behind the scenes. That was the end of that scene. We move on to Kobe and Russell and their daughter. We see that Kobe just, I guess, had a doctor's appointment or something, and she's finding out that, well, she's been feeling all of this pain in her pelvic area. I didn't know this, but how things are with a lot of pregnancies is, sorry y'all, I keep wiping the sweat. It's hot in Florida. What was I gonna say? Well, Kobe. She said with the doctor, with your second pregnancy, there is a lot of pelvic pain. She's like, she thinks like one false move and everything that's inside of her is going to fall out. She's going to be pushing out another big head baby. No, I didn't know that women experience that with their second child. I would think that would be more conducive for the first child because that area has never been stretched before, you know? I don't know. But anyways, I learned something new today. And they're going to have a gender reveal party and all that good stuff. And they talk a little bit about what they want, again, gender-wise. But Kobe did say, you know, I'm about to push out another child, and I need another push out gift. And Russell was giving a little pushback in regards to that, but I know Russell's gonna come through and give that push out gift. We move over to Anthony and Latoya. Latoya is kind of going off. She feels a little bit overwhelmed in regards to she's doing a lot around the house, and I have all these responsibilities. I'm taking care of 3 other people. And he's like, what 3 other people? You, the children, and all that. I think he was kind of playing around with her, but he realized that she was serious about everything, and he's like, hey, I'm here for you, blah, 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 blah. So they get in on this whole Kim and Christina thing. Anthony wants to have a conversation just to see if there's some way that they can help. And Latoya was like, what for? Kim said that she does not want to move on in any type of friendship or whatever. Anthony asked, you know, do you mind if I talk with Kim? She's like, look, if you can stay up out of it, don't insert yourself in anything. If you're really genuine as far as coming as a friend, do that. But she was like, look, it seems like at any point of anyone starting to care, somehow it can get twisted up, blah, 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 blah. So don't you get yourself caught up in that mess. We go back to Kobe and Russell. Kobe is setting up with her team to have this gender reveal. It's going to be also influencer content. She has her team there. She has her Chelsea there. Christina had her Chelsea with her as she was trying to prepare for artist performance. Anyways, what was I gonna say? So again, she wants a girl, and she was expressing that to Chelsea and all that good stuff. So it's time for the gender reveal. Thank God it was short, simple, and sweet. There's some other guests around, and they had Kendall, I believe the daughter's name, squeeze the bear's hand, and it revealed that the child's going to be a girl. Instantly, there was heartbreak in Colby. She kept up a good front for Kelsey, or Kendall. I think it is Kendall, yeah. And all that good stuff. And what was I going to say? Later on, her and Russell talked, and she said, you know, I was disappointed because I do want a son. I want what you and Kendall have. And he was like, well, you know, we can have another child. Let's give it 6 months after you deliver. And Kobe's like, 6 months? Negro, have you lost your mind? That's me and my voice, and I'm paraphrasing and all that good stuff. Like, I don't want another child like that. She says, you know, I do love my child. It's not like that. I just really wanted something that I can embrace and have that type of connection with, because Kendall's still gonna choose you over me. That's a lot. It's almost like, one, I'm gonna just say this up front. I don't have any children, and I don't have much commentary, and I think Colby should not be ashamed and not feel judged as she did before when she said she was upset when she found out that she was having a girl, Kendall, the first time that she got pregnant. You should be glad that you have a child or whatever. There are gifts. Yeah, there are gifts. You do have personal preferences sometimes. All I'm going to say is with Kendall, you know, you're valid in how you feel. And I don't think that you mistreat Kendall. I don't think you're going to mistreat this child. So it is what it is. Russell, that was the wrong time. And I think Russell is kind of the fixer, and he'll say things at the wrong time. A, your wife just told you that she has pelvic pain. B, you just heard her say that she's devastated that she's not going to have her girl. And you just want to pop out another baby just to have a certain, hopefully you get your preference the next time. Obviously, y'all got to hear God through all this. Why is God allowing all girls to come through you? That's where you got to find your purpose at. There has to be something that God wants for this family outside of your own personal desires. I think what you're feeling is humanistic. Feel how you feel. But get the purpose of what God is doing within your family. That's all I got to say about that. It was a cool episode. I love these people so much, and I'm glad that you're on our screens again. Please leave your comments below. Give me your feedback on this season thus far. I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Like this video, and also subscribe. And until the next one, peace.